Good evening, everybody. Mike Vaki, PrincetonTrader.com, here with a quick closing wrap-up. We talked today, earlier today, about 200-day exponential moving average down there at 42.87. I said, I wasn't sure if we would hit it today. Yeah, we hit it today. It was a pretty steady bleed down into 1:30, 2 o'clock. The advanced decline line never really got going. The low on the AD today was somewhere in the negative 200s. It spent most of the day hovering around the zero line. So what you didn't see today that you saw yesterday is you didn't see the big negative internals that were going to keep driving things and driving them down and driving them down. But very similar to yesterday, we got a bounce. So it comes down, print 77. They closed it. It's 5:23 as I'm doing this. So the 5 o'clock close was at 43.21.75. So hey, that's 40 something handles. It's nothing to sneeze at. We were long the bounce yesterday, the 09 area. We're along this one at 04. So look, the way we usually handle these things, we were short down into the lows, and you have to really let that work. You can't be throwing darts at every interim low you see throughout the day because you're going to be wrong way more than you're right. And I'll pull a 5-minute chart out here in a second and we can talk about that. Hourly chart, there was just a little bit of a compression. They kind of squeezed those together and another expansion to the downside, another expansion to a new low. So in the bigger picture, the bears continue to be successful. And until the bulls can overcome some of that, we're going to continue to see the same kind of a deal, which is very much lower band ride price action that we have been talking about. I can just duplicate these and move them down here. Why not? Do it live. Same stuff, different day. Okay, so back up to the hourly mid. We'll see if it, when they open it up, if it wants to do anything, or if we're just going to do another one of these. Now, a 5-minute chart. Which I was kind of referring to in the room. And this is why, we do well on the counter trades, but we certainly don't try to pick bottoms. It's got to take out something meaningful. It's got to kind of force us into things. And at that point, we covered for, what was it? Covered for 30, and we'll get into a long, but all that was done down in the 94 to 04 area, which is where things were kind of starting to change. So if you're a contrarian counter trader, your day probably sucked because they're taking it down. Throw a dart at it. I'm right. No, I'm not. Throw a dart at it. I'm right. No, I'm not. Throw a dart at it. Oh, that didn't take long. Ow, that hurt. Throw a dart at it. Wait. Nope. That really hurt. How about this one? Nope. Maybe. Okay, fine. But you're like 0 for 5. And going 1 for 6 is not the path to successful long-term anything, let alone trading money. So for us, takes out the 5-minute mid. When it takes out the proprietary moving average and it moves up through 4,300s like it's not even there, that gets us off the sideline. That gets us in around 04. And, they took it back in to the 04 area at 345. Forced us back into the trade, and then they wound it up into the close. So as it sits now, we're right back at that hourly mid-band. And we hung out there for basically the entire period between 4 and 5 o'clock. So do I expect any great movement overnight? Not really. We'll see what happens. But I'm expecting more of the same. The Globexes have been very consolidated. They've been very flat. They've had very low range hourly candles. And they kind of walk things up. The bell rings. Again, we saw exactly what we saw the day before. We made our highs up here in the first half hour of the day, and it was nothing but but problems after that. Nothing but problems after that. So that's all I got. Everybody have a fantastic day, fantastic night. We'll be out with a morning webcast for subscribers. We'll have the subscriber webcast tonight. We'll talk through all this and go from there. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princeton Trader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade 'em well.